Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Brandon. Welcome to Audio Addiction, where you can find latest album reviews. You can find our band interviews, and you can find live coverage of the concerts that we get. I posted 3 live sets, one from Underoath, Carousel Kings, and Ascent Like Wolves. I also posted an album review of Royal Coda's self-titled record. I'll also be doing the Rockets record as well the next day or so, and also this record and maybe a few more that I see pop up here and there. So definitely be on the lookout for all of that as well. But tonight, without further ado, we're gonna be getting into Lim's new full-length record, Father's Son. So this band has been pretty active as of recently, but I felt like I've only heard about them for not that long of a time. But they put out a phenomenal EP on Equal Vision called Sleep, which I definitely implore you to go pick up before you go check out this record, or check that out first and then check this record out. But they were on tour with Hail the Sun, Idola, Capsize, I believe it was last year, and they just kind of blew my mind. They work with Tim from Underoath and Bo Burchell from Seosin. I think he was in The Used and things of that nature, and they went back to the same people for this new record, so I was definitely pumped on it. When I heard Father Son, when I heard Tangled Hands, those were two songs that felt like were really kind of two different songs on the spectrum, but I was definitely stoked on the direction that they were going in. Definitely check this band out if you haven't already. Links in the description. But I'm going to go through each track, give you my thoughts and opinions on all of them, go through some pros and cons I feel on the record, and then finish it out with an overall rating. So the first track is called Fed. This is the intro track. It has this real ominous guitar and piano combination, which I think is really sick. And it was something that I was kind of gets you in the mood for the record and kind of gives you a vibe of how the overall sound will be in terms of just that intro track. Everybody kind of kicks in at around the 40-second mark with some just really gnarly stuff. If you again listen to this Sleep EP, kind of feeds off that sort of vibe, but maybe a little bit more darker, which I appreciate the direction sort of influence and change so far. So we're gonna move into track number 2, which is Father's Son. This is the title track of the record, and it is the most recent single that they released, and I feel like they waste no time in throwing you into the deep end. If you haven't heard of this band, they're very much in that hardcore, metalcore sorts of vibes, but they also have like post-hardcore mixed in there as well. Much like in Sleep, Chris's vocals just cut through, whether it be his cleans, which I feel like he accents and utilizes a little bit more throughout this entire record, and his screams are just on point per usual. I like that they recycled the melody from the intro into this song as well. I thought that was a really neat callback to that song in particular. It really kind of ties it together. There are some really great moments of heaviness, but there are also some great melodies throughout this track as well. The ending is super sick, and it's really heavy and great. I like that they brought back the piano from the first track, and they brought back the piano in a further track off later on in the record as well. But we're going to move into track number 3, which is Abba. If you were expecting a sort of heavy track, just balls to the wall, chaotic track, I would say look no further than this track, Abba, and the next one, Black Thumb. But more specifically, this one has that sort of Poison or Rat vibe to it from the EP. It just has high energy and is one of those songs that I felt like I would just, as soon as I had my headphones on, I just wanted to kind of like rip them off and like throw them against the wall and just go like ham on this track. I definitely foresee this track being a really gnarly track live. I really don't speak about tracks live, but this one I can feel the energy, I can feel the like just aggression, and I love it already. I hope that they play it on their tour with Underoath. I think that would be really sick. It definitely borrows from their more hardcore roots, like I mentioned earlier, and is very Yeah, it is very Every Time I Die sort of influenced, which I love. I think they are a great band, definitely an underrated band if you haven't heard of them. And the 1 minute and 35 second mark to the 1 minute and 45 second mark just gave me this absolutely disgusting riff that I like, and the ending felt like a little bit lackluster in the fact that it felt like it was going to build to a big crescendo moment, but it really wasn't fully realized. And then as I'm going through the record, I feel that, which I'll be talking about in Black Thumb in a minute, feels like a continuation of that. So speaking on Black Thumb, that is the next track, track number 4, and again, it feels like a continuation of Abba, which is really cool. It has that sort of lost in the sound of separation era of Under Oath to me. Especially in the instrumental department, it has that sort of darker overall tonality to it, and I like that towards the end of the song you can definitely feel those dark vibes, and just it plays off the lyricism on this record as well. I didn't have the lyrics with me, so I really couldn't delve deep into those, and I typically don't either, but I felt like in the case of this song, it would have been nice. But overall, just definitely love the continuation of that, and I like that they kind of again tie in a lot of songs together, and it really makes the album more cohesive. So we're gonna move into track number 5, which is 12 Stones. This one is probably the most expansive that Chris has gotten in terms of vocals, especially in his clean range. His falsettos are really sort of haunting, and they really pair well with the song. I like how it bounces around at the 1 minute and 30 second mark. I think that the band kind of comes in at around that point, and it just kind of makes the fullness of the song really realized. I like that it shows off more of their melodic sensibility, which I think in the previous record, which is an EP, I felt like they just wanted to go for those hard hitter moments, and this one definitely feels like it's more thought out. It's a little bit more constructed better, and they were able to do stuff that maybe they weren't able to do on the EP, that would have maybe played off as well. I like that they added rain, that like sort of rain effect. I really feel like it brings up more of the dark tones of this song too, and it sets up for the next track. So the next track is track number 6, which is Weep. This one just has this emotional tug and pull to it. A lot of songs that become my favorites have that sort of feeling, and just gut wrenching lyricism that just really tears at your soul. And this one definitely got to me. It is definitely emulated through Chris's vocals, just how passionate he sings and screams in this track, and then the way that the instrumentals reflect that sort of aggression and anger and just emotional distress, which I love. There's a nice balance of cleans and screams as well, which I felt like in a few of the other tracks they just become very scream laden, and this one kind of shows off and almost is like a breaking point for this record, which I appreciate. There's a great balance of heaviness and melody as well. It's structured beautifully and just lyrically impactful. I remember going back to this track more times than the other tracks on the record, which does not lessen them at all, but this one just really grabbed me and pulled me in, and I really appreciated it about this track. So we're gonna move into track number 7, which is Homestead. The instrumentals, probably more specifically the guitar, really take the cake for this song. Jordan and Tyler just really went to town on this song. It's groovy, it's heavy, and it's probably their most intricate sort of stuff on the record in terms of guitars. I'm liking the call and response in terms of the screams from Chris. I'm pretty sure Josh is doing some of the screams as well on this record. They can clarify if I'm wrong or not. I know he does them live, so that's what I felt like. Maybe in certain portions it could have been Josh, but it could have also been Chris, so I have no idea. The bridge definitely threw me for a loop in this track. It comes to kind of a screeching halt, and then highlights more of Chris's cleans and falsetto lines. I think it was just interesting. It's an interesting like musical approach in this track. I don't think it's bad. I think it's just kind of abrupt and unexpected, but I like how they kind of catered it and made it kind of work in this track. So we're gonna move into track number 8, which is Sacrament. This one is definitely the black sheep of the record. Period. It's playing again to more of that melodic tendencies, much like 12 Stones did on this record so far, and it just kind of sets up more of that melodicness that they've kind of had throughout the record, but this is kind of the peak melodicness on the track and on this record so far. I like that it shows off more of Chris's cleans and range. I think that he's able to really kind of show off his abilities. That's a lot of strong falsettos in this track, and I think they're great. It's something that, again, I was not expecting from the previous EP going into this record, that he would be doing a lot more cleans, but I think they work, and I love that they could still include that balance of cleans and screams, but they're not overdone or overpopulated, which is really great. I like that there was some cool gang vocals and chants in the middle of the song. I felt like it broke up the song a little bit as well, and it was a totally unexpected track, but I think it shows off a lot of their skill and abilities as a band so far. So we're gonna move into track number 9, which is Crossed. Really digging this awesome drum intro from Dan. I think it's really unique. It's definitely, when you get to the album and get to this song, it is one of those songs that you know instinctually that that's Crossed, just by that stuff. I love when Chris does that sort of yell scream sort of a thing. It's definitely up there with my favorites, being like Sam Carter, who does it flawlessly. The instrumentation in the song is also killer as well. Probably some of my favorite stuff off the entire record as well. And I definitely like that there's, again, a nice balance between screams and cleans. There is an overabundance of one, and there isn't an underabundance of other things off the record. I like that the chant, "I cross myself too many times," and the whole other lyric on that track just gets stuck in your head, and I love it. I think it's one of those lyrics that I will remember for the entirety of this record, and it's definitely one of those memorable moments. So we're gonna move into track number 10, which is Tangled Hands. This is the first single that was released, and I felt like it was definitely a different step in the musical direction for this band, but I feel like in the whole confines of this record, it fits so well, because it really shows a journey between where the first half of the record feels like their older stuff, the EP, and then the newer stuff is like kind of towards the end of this record that feels very much new and different, and they are trying different sounds and different vibes, and I think it works out because they didn't lose that heaviness. They still kept the melodicness, but there's really some great heavy moments on this record too. Is one of the most unique tracks off the record, and the drum line, as well as the bass line from Dan and Josh respectively, got stuck in my head. It's one of those songs, even before the record came out, was one of those ones that I jam on the regular. The guitar works super well as well. Just Jordan and Tyler, their riff writing is super sick, and it just really accents the whole rest of the band, including Dan and Josh more specifically, and that more instrumental side to the music. I like that this song is just super catchy, probably the catchiest track off the record, and I don't want to discount it for what it is. I think it is a beautiful track, and I think it fits way more in the confines of the record. So we're gonna move into track number 11, which is Blister. I like that this song brings the album full circle. It has a lot of the great moments that I felt were on this record, and it highlights everything very well, and very just appropriate to what they were going for and what they were stretching for on this record. Structurally, it's great, and it has some of the best qualities on this record. It is definitely one of my favorite tracks, and it just is a great closer track to end off the record with. So some pros and cons that I felt like were on this record. It built off of what the old record started. It really had those heavy moments, but it also had those really great melodic moments that they weren't really able to capitalize on in the EP. So I think that they really did that well. I like that they expanded into new territories, but keeping that same sound as well. Harkening back to the built off the old record. I feel like they still have those heavy elements. There's still tracks that are heavy, like Abba, Black Thumb. I would say Homestead's pretty heavy as well. Father, Son. Those are all heavy, but they also have great moments of melodicness. And then, you got tracks like 12 Stones and Crossed and Sacrament that just kind of feel very different and, new to what Limbs does. So I like that this record kind of culminates their journey, and I really don't have any cons about it. It's a phenomenal record from front to back, and I am super stoked to see them on their tour with Underoath. It's gonna be amazing. But my overall rating for Limbs Father Son, I'm gonna be giving it a 9.7 out of 10. I highly recommend checking out this band. I've been keeping an eye out for this band for the longest time, and I feel like they are extremely underrated. If you are going out to this Underoath show, please go early, go see these guys. I can't think of people who deserve it more, and they're gonna absolutely rip it up. So definitely go check out Limbs. They're up there with my favorite up and coming metalcore bands, along with Greyhaven. Limbs, if you're watching this, Greyhaven Limbs tour 2018, put me in a coffin, I'd be done. That would be such a sick tour. Maybe with Capsize, please end my life. That would be sick. So just saying, whatever. But let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on Father Son. Let me know below. Definitely would like to hear some thoughts and opinions on it, excluding my own, obviously, because I've been ranting for the past 16 minutes. But definitely go check out this band. Links are in the description. If you enjoyed this review, please subscribe, please like it, and please share it around. I'd really appreciate the support. Thank you guys so much for the love on all of the videos that I've been posting. I've been posting a lot, so thank you guys for watching all of those. And if you haven't, please go back, go check out some stuff. There are some really killer bands that I have on here. So my name is Brandon. We hope you got your fix, and we'll be talking with you soon. Peace. Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com, and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.